Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I had to wear my glasses today. I usually wear contact lenses when I film because, as you can probably notice, the ring light sort of bounces off the reflection of the glasses. But yes, I had to wear my glasses today to film because unfortunately I've had the worst allergy eyes lately. The past 3 days have been crazy. I just want to scratch my eyes out. So yeah, I couldn't stand to put contact lenses in. I've been using allergy eye drops, but it's just not enough. So my eyes feel really dry, and yeah, I do try to ignore the reflection that's going on in my glasses. I'm trying to sort of sit in a certain way so it doesn't reflect too much. But anyways, today's video, as per the title, is going to be a review of the Constance 24, so the Hermes Constance 24. This is the bag we're going to be reviewing today, and if you do like these sort of videos, I do luxury reviews, luxury hauls, luxury unboxings and favorites and all those sorts of things when it comes to luxury. Then please hit that subscribe button below. I would greatly appreciate it. And we will start now with today's video. So as I said, this is the Constance 24. This is in Epsom leather and the colour is green Moet. There are other Constance sizes that are produced today, and the other one is the Constance 18. I don't know for sure if the Constance Elan is still being produced, but that's a more narrow, so it probably would have been about that, and it would have been slightly longer. I think it sits at 25 centimeters, probably would have came out to around about there. I don't know if they're still producing the Elan. Feel free to put information in the comments below whether or not the Constance Elan has officially been discontinued. So from what I know, there's definitely still the Constance 18 and the Constance 24. There was a micro Constance, which to my understanding is no longer being produced, or maybe it's just like a rare one-off sort of production. We'll talk about the dimensions of the bag. So along here is actually 23.5 centimeters along this way, and that's measured from edge to edge. I'll take this felt off very soon. The height is 18.5 centimeters. And the gusset, so that's this part here, measured just like that, is 7.5 centimeters. Now, if I were to actually expand these gussets, this, I believe, so at the gusset here, the actual width is 4 centimeters. I'm just looking at my notes if you're noticing I'm looking down. But if I actually expand it, it goes out another like 1 centimeter. So it's got room for it, like it expands when you fill it up. So it's essentially 5 centimeters when expanded. And then on the smaller gusset, it measures at 3 centimeters just like this. And then when you expand it, it also goes out another centimeter, making it 4 centimeters. So then you end up with an expansion total of 9 centimeters rather than the 7.5 centimeters that I just measured as is. The actual buckle here is, I think if I remember correctly, yeah, along here is 8 centimeters and the actual height of the buckle is 5 centimeters. Actual full length of the strap is 105 centimeters. Okay, and now if you were to double it up, the actual strap drop here, so from here to here, is 24 centimeters. And then going back to made it difficult for myself, this drop, the actual full length strap drop, is 44 centimeters. So that's good to know that this is going to be 44 centimeters down. So if you're wanting to compare how it's going to sit on your body, you will be referring to the 44 centimeter strap drop. Constance typically comes in, I believe actually it only comes in these leathers, and we're not talking about exotics, we're just talking about leathers. Tadillac, box calf, Epsom, which is this one here, Evercolor, and Swift. So it does not come in Togo or Clemence. You can't get the Constance in those leathers as far as I know currently. So we're just going to see what fits inside this Constance. So this flap sort of, because of the buckle, it's weighted, so it doesn't want to sort of stand up to put things in. But in this bag, I've just kind of got my asthma puffer, some lip gloss, lip liner. I've got the Hermes rain cover, some tissues, a mirror, some womanly things, nasal spray, and then I've got some medicine all the way down the bottom as well, and a bag hook. So yeah, it's pretty full, this bag, and it would be the equivalent size of it would be bigger than a Louis Vuitton mini pochette for size reference. So it's probably about the size of maybe a toiletry 15. So I'm just putting that in the back there. Now I've just prepared like a makeup compact, so I'm going to put that down the back as well. A card holder. I might move that to the front actually, that makeup compact. A phone. And this is the size of like an iPhone Plus. So that's how it's looking inside. And then this has got keys in it, including a car key fob. And where am I going to put this? I'm going to have to maneuver things around. So I'm going to put it down there because this key thing is a bit bulky, but I don't really want to have just loose keys sitting around scratching the inside of the bag. I'm going to put the phone back there. And that's how it's looking. So it's pretty full in my opinion, because when you close it up, you can sort of see that this is sort of bulging a bit, but it's still fine because it's the Epsom leather and it's going to hold structure. Sometimes when I don't want to bring a baby bag and I'm using this bag, I will just bring my daughter's nappy inside, like a single nappy. So the cream, the baby wipes, and then a nappy. Phone. So that's how it looks. That's with the nappy, a cream down the side, and the wipes as well. And it's still relatively easy to close. And that's how it looks on the side. Having owned this bag now for almost a year, because we're at the end of January, so I've owned it for like 10 months. Almost, we're getting close to a year. I do have some wear and tear, unfortunately, on the bag. And I'm going to include some pictures somewhere on the side. And you'll see that I have scratches on the buckle, which is notoriously known when it comes to the Constance, because it's such a large bit of hardware. It's huge compared to the toggles, like the hardware on a Birkin and Kelly. It's quite small, but this is just this big, large surface. So obviously it's going to be susceptible to scratches. I don't have any scratches on this part because I only recently removed the plastic off here because I started to notice that it was leaving a bit of a mark, which did clean off with some polish anyway, but it's good to, like, it's okay to leave the stickers on your hardware, providing they're not starting to peel and bubble, because when they peel and bubble, that's when you start to get dirt underneath the actual sticker, and that's when you get damage to the hardware. So when you are starting to notice that you're getting dirt, then you should pull them off. As soon as you notice, you should take off the stickers. And especially if you live in a very humid, moist climate, you shouldn't leave the stickers on, but just try to keep an eye on it if you do want to take that risk. I do have some scratches on the bag. Now, the worst part that I do have scratches, and again, I'm going to include a photo because it's not going to show up when I show you on the camera. But what happens when you're opening this latch, it's quite easy to accidentally scratch underneath. So some other parts that I do have scratches, other than the inside, which is expected, I do have some, I think I may have taken a photo of this, but I have like a very small, tiny scratch somewhere on the front here as well, and I think I may have another one here, and I know I definitely have a very small one at the back of the bag as well over here, and I'm going to have to include pictures because it's impossible to see on the camera. But basically it's just from general wear and tear, accidentally, scratching with my nails, more to do with the leather in my opinion, because Epsom, in my opinion, scratches very easily, especially when you have natural nails. I find that when you have natural nails, they're a lot more thinner, but if you have acrylic nails, you may not notice that problem because it's more rounded, more curved. You're not getting that kind of dig motion with your nails. So when you have natural nails, I find that it's unfortunately easy to scratch Epsom leather. Ideally, if I could change this bag out to a completely different leather, I'd rather it be Tadillac. Probably not Swift, because in this size, I feel it would compromise the structure slightly. I would change it to Tadillac or Evercolor. So yeah, it's kind of quite obvious. I'm not really a huge fan of Epsom, unfortunately. So those are just general wear and tear that will happen, and you probably still would even get scratches. Like you would get scratches on the other bags, like you get scratches on Swift, Evercolor, and Tadillac, but I just find that the scratches on those leathers buff out a lot better than what on Epsom, you can't buff them out. You can only touch them up. The only way I can fix these scratches is by going to an Hermes spa to get them touched up, or a leather surgeon's or something. So whereas with the other leathers, you can generally buff them out with some conditioner, rub of your finger, that sort of thing, a bit like Chanel lambskin. Okay, so I've covered generally the wear and tear. So you notice I haven't mentioned that I have any wear and tear on the sides, because I don't. I have no wear and tear on the corners because they're rounded, and I have no wear and tear on the sides. I do not see any marks whatsoever, no damage to the glazing or anything like that. And the strap, don't see any damage at all either. I typically wear this bag is on the shoulder, just the long strap drop. I don't tend to double strap it. I don't really like how that looks on me. I feel that with this size, it looks slightly awkward because the strap, like, it's 105 centimeters total, but you're taking away the 23.5 centimeters of the strap length by the width of the actual bag. So double strapped, I find it sits up too high under the shoulder. Or I also tie a twilly and turn this into a top handle. I don't tend to wear the bag crossbody unless I'm in a pinch and I really need to be very hands-free, then I'll wear it crossbody. Even though I'm not very tall, I just don't really like how it sort of protrudes from the body. It's quite bulky when you do wear it crossbody, and it sits high, kind of high up. It sort of sits in a spot that I do like. It's just more to do with the fact that it's so structured. Perhaps if this was in Evercolor or Swift, I probably may prefer, I may be okay with wearing it crossbody more frequently, because those leathers sort of sit softer on your body. They'll hug your body a bit. I realised I didn't really show you what sort of like the inside of the actual bag looks like. So obviously, as you can see when I was running through the measurements, it's got the gussets, it's compartmentalized, and it's completely vacant at the back. There's no pocket whatsoever. Inside the bag, take out these air pockets. You have a pocket here, so that's on the front side where the buckle is. And then you've got your division. And then at the back, you have also a zippered pocket. So it's very similar in design to the Kelly and the Birkin, where they both have the pocket at the front and the zip at the back. Moving along to the pros and the cons of this bag. I'm going to start off with the cons first. The scratches are near the buckle on the leather that I mentioned when it comes to opening the bag and closing the bag. That's definitely a con. It's really annoying that it's not that easy to sort of open and close. Yeah, the scratches that you get from opening and closing the bag is really, really annoying, and that to me is actually a huge con, because no one wants to be scratching up their bag, but it's an accident. You don't mean to. The scratches on the buckle is a con too, because not everyone wants to see their hardware scratched, especially when you spend so much money. You'd like to keep it pristine, but unfortunately it is prone to scratches on that buckle, and there's not much else you can do about it. I before used to keep buying the orange shield stickers to put on this buckle, and then I just got tired of buying them. I think I went through three sets of it in about probably 5 months. There's no top handle to the bag, so you can do a makeshift top handle like I spoke about, how I like to wear it, but technically there is no top handle in the bag like you get on the Kelly bag. Another con that people might, maybe it's a con for them, is that it's a structured design. So back to what I was sort of saying, how when you're using this bag crossbody, it does sort of sit a bit boxy, and that's to do with the structure. Some people don't like a structured design, so that could be a potential con for you, but I personally do like it that it has a structured design. Another con could be that it's compartmentalized. Not everyone likes that it's got the divider in the middle, because then you don't have an open space. You're actually losing a bit of space by having it compartmentalized, and you're actually restricted to what size items that you could put in there because it's already divided for you. Another con could be that the leather options are different in the Constance than what they are in the Birkin and Kelly. There are actually less leather options, like I said at the beginning. The single strap could also be a con too, because it is not adjustable, and it's also not removable. Cost. So like I said earlier, this is pretty much only maybe a few hundred up to $700 less than the Birkin 30 or Kelly 28. It is more expensive, however, than the Kelly 25 and Birkin 25, and that's specifically in this size, in the Constance 24. Couple final things it's harder to get than the Birkin or the Kelly. So the Constance, it appears to be harder to get in store. There's not always a wait list for the Constance, whereas typically there is a wait list for the Birkin and Kelly. So this has been known to be harder to get in store. However, I have noticed that in the resale market, these brand new aren't as high in price compared to the Birkin and Kelly. So that's some food for thought as well. And the very final con that I thought of as well was that it has no feet. So there are absolutely no feet on the bag. Whereas, as you may be familiar with the Birkin and Kelly, it has 4 feet. Whereas this has none. It just sits on the actual glazed leather. So the glazed edging, that's how it sits. Alright, now let's talk about the pros. So we're ending more on a good note. It holds its value quite solidly. So the Constance does hold its value, so does the Birkin and the Kelly, depending on the sizes that you get. However, with the Constance, you're only limited to a couple sizes, so you're pretty much guaranteed that it's going to hold its money. If not, it can go up in value, like I said, with the price increase. So you've got a fairly good investment here. I'm not talking like investment like shares, you know, houses. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying when it comes to buying luxury bags, this versus other bags, you know, well, not versus Birkin and Kelly. Oh my god, there's a fly in here. This versus other bags from other brands, this doesn't sell as much as the Birkin and Kelly when it comes to fetching a premium price for a brand new bag. This isn't as jacked up as the Birkin and Kelly. However, there's also factors that you got to consider, like color. So, for example, I've seen a Vertigo Constance that was brand new. It was exactly the same price as retail. I've seen a Rose Azalee Constance, the same price as retail in this size. So, you know, whereas in the Gris Moet, like I've said, this I paid a slight premium for, so it really does depend on your colour. And the same thing, even though, like, same thing as the Birkin and Kelly. The unique design of this, it's different to the Birkin or Kelly. Like the Birkin and Kelly, they're similar to each other in their own way. Like I know that they're still different bags, but they've got very similar attributes. Whereas this bag is just completely different design on its own. Like it stands out on its own, so that is definitely a pro for this bag. Now, with that being said, this H buckle is known to represent Hermes, and that's what makes the design different, very unique versus the Birkin and Kelly. But that's actually a pro because this is recognizable. So someone could see you in the street carrying this bag and they probably would likely know this is an Hermes bag based on that H right there. This bag elevates an outfit. Then again, so does the Birkin and Kelly as well. But because this size, it's limited in sizes and it doesn't get too big, and the size 24 is the biggest that you can get, it really elevates an outfit. So it makes the bag actually versatile for day and night. You can easily use it at night as an evening bag as well, so you don't have to change out to something else. This no problem transitions into a night bag from a day bag, and I use this bag. Actually, yeah, this is the bag I use if I'm going out at night time. Let's say we're going to dinner or something, which isn't often. But if we are, I would prefer to sort of grab this bag because it looks more, like it looks a bit more dressy, but yeah, it can still be dressed down to use during the day as well. That's what's so awesome about it. Being that the design isn't very deep, it was 18.5 centimeters in height. When you do open up the bag, it's quite easy to see your items. You're not having to fish through the bag. It's not like a big hole or anything like that. The closure, it's still a pro, because compared to the Kelly, this bag is easier to open and close. It's just that the wear that you get is annoying because you don't get that on the Kelly bag. So, but the closure itself, the opening, which I'm gonna carefully open again, the opening and the closing is still easier than the Kelly. So obviously, like I said, you know, if you're trying to be conscious, I suppose it can be a little bit tricky to open, but still with the Kelly bag, I still think if I compare them, like timing, opening both bags simultaneously, I still think this is quicker to open and close. Another pro is the ways that you can actually wear this bag. So even though I said I don't like to wear it crossbody, it's still perfectly fine to wear it crossbody. You could wear it crossbody if you want to, and I'll include a mod shot of me wearing the bag crossbody so you can see that I can still pass as wearing a crossbody. So it does have more ways than one to wear it. So you can wear it on the single strap, and then you can wear it double strapped under the shoulder as well. And then, like I said, you know, you could always do your own makeshift top handle. So it does have versatility in the ways that you can wear the bag. It comes in a multitude of colours, so that's a pro as well. Even though the Birkin and Kelly come in a multitude of colours, still this bag comes in all the same colours as well. So that is still definitely a pro, that you have a rainbow of colours to pick from with Hermes. Perhaps not, you know, in store availability, but we all know it's hard to get store bags anyway. But I'm saying like pre-loved market, resale market, there's still a wide variety of colours available. And another great thing is that it holds its shape. So it's structured and it holds its shape. You're not having to worry about it slouching. You're not having to worry about getting misshapen on the sides. You're not having to worry about like misshapening at the front from bulging or anything like that. So some people like don't like that look, especially with the Birkin. It can slouch over time, whereas you definitely will not have that problem with this bag. I'd mentioned before that even though it has no feet, like that was a con, but still, when you think about it having the glazed edging, it actually has round corners, so it's less susceptible to corner wear than the Kelly Cellier. So even though it doesn't have any feet, I have absolutely no wear on the bottoms anyway, so that's fine, and I have absolutely no wear on the corners too. So the way that the design is with those curved edges and it being glazed all the way around, it seems to just make it, you know, unable to get corner damage. Well, at least I've owned the bag for almost a year and I have absolutely no corner damage whatsoever. And I had corner damage on my Cellier Kelly. So that just goes to show, versus one another, this bag is great if you don't like getting corner wear. And the very final pro that I thought of, because this bag is harder to get than the Birkin and Kelly, it makes it more unique, because you do not see the Constance around as often as you see the Birkin and the Kelly. So maybe not, you know, like on an average day in the street. I'm talking about like in social media, you see less Constance than you do Birkin and Kelly. All up, if I read all my pros and cons correctly, there was 11 cons versus 13 pros. So overall, this bag is still yes, 100% recommend this bag. I think it's absolutely fabulous. I would love to add a Constance 18 actually. I have waitlisted for one at my store, but who knows when that's going to come. I hope I haven't rambled too much, and I hope I've actually covered everything that I could cover when it comes to reviewing this bag. So I've spoke about the wear and tear. They do have some wear and tear, but it's nothing too bad. You know, I talked about it holding its value, and I talked about how it sort of sits in the resale market as well. And then I've run you through all the pros and cons and what fits in this bag. So hopefully I have given you enough information if you are thinking about purchasing this bag. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, please feel free to comment below. You can also reach me on my Instagram, Purseonfleek, which I'm very active on. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.